Hi everybody, it's Cindy. I hope you're all doing great. I'm doing something I've never done before and may never do again. I don't know. I'm doing a destash of my craft studio. I have some really interesting plans coming up for my shop for 2021, and I want to kind of clear out the clutter. You know me, if you watch me, I have to be organized, and when things start to stack up, I get stressed. So I decided that it's just time to share some of the overage that I have in my studio that I know I'm never going to use. I'm just never going to get to it because of all the other things I have planned for 2021. So the first thing that I'm destashing is wallpaper. I am bundling up some sets to sell in my shop, and I'm going to show you some ideas really quickly of what to do, what you can do with wallpaper, and then I'll go through each one of these sets. I did have to give them each a name so that if you see it in the video, you can go to my Etsy shop and you'll know what the name of the set that you want is, if that makes sense. So let me set these aside for a second. So first of all, let me say why I like wallpaper. Let me bring this back because the main reason why I love wallpaper is the texture. You can't see it, of course, you can't feel it, but this one is all these lines are grooved, and there are some flocked and glittered wallpapers in here too. So number one, I love it for the texture. It's not just flat paper with stuff stuck to it. It gives you a wonderful textured background for projects. The other thing I like about it is that it doesn't tear as easily as paper. It's still paper, obviously, but it's been, because of the process of putting on the pattern and the colors and whatnot, it almost feels like a vinyl on the front. And then the back on these kits that I'm selling is not pre-glued. So that's kind of important when you're working with it. It makes it easier to work with it. So those are the two main reasons, but it's just very versatile. And the most obvious thing to do would be to use the wallpaper for journal covers. So these are three that I've made, and again, you can't. I wish you could. I wish this was feel-o-vision. I wish you could feel it, but this texture here is very different than this, and this is almost inlaid. So this just has a ton of texture, and all I do is I put my oops, how'd that get in there? I put my coffee stained paper in. Well, first I line the back with scrapbook paper or other pieces of wallpaper just to cover over it. Sometimes it's plain, sometimes it has writing on it, which I don't always mind, but usually I cover the back and cut it out to match the piece of wallpaper, and then put my coffee stained paper in and just stick it in my sewing machine. Whoop, right up the center, and there you have a journal. It also takes to the sewing machine. That's another benefit I should have mentioned. It takes to the sewing machine a lot better than paper. It doesn't tear as easily. So you can find all kinds of fun patterns. I thought this was a really fun one. Very kind of whimsical and fun, and it makes you sort of want to doodle in it. So that one, and then these I showed the other day. These are the journals that I made, and everybody gets one of the cards from my Vintage Moons kit, and I put a pretty piece of ribbon around it. But don't know, yeah, you can kind of see this one was actually a map. I found I actually found wallpaper with maps on it, which was really cool. So you can find a lot more um, patterns and colors than you can with scrapbook paper. Scrapbook paper all tends to be themed. So you might like one sheet in the paper pack, but maybe you don't want a whole paper pack about dogs, for example. So so with wallpaper, you just have a lot more to choose from sometimes. Anyway, okay. So the other thing I like to do is when I'm collaging tags, I usually like to have a pop of color. And so I'll just take strips of wallpaper, and it looks really nice when you tear it, just like regular paper. And well, that's not wallpaper there, that's Tim Holtz, but um, it, I use the scraps for just bits of color in my collages. So that's really fun. And then for this one, well, this is actually, oh, this isn't wallpaper. This is from my antique Japanese kit. But this is still a good example. So you could take a piece of wallpaper and back it just like you would regular paper, back it with some vintage book pages, sew around the edges, fold it in half, and make yourself a card or a card for your journal and decorate the cover if you want. This is one that I have a tutorial for this in my explanation of my Japanese digi kit. I think I'll try to find the link and put it below. But this is a cool book to make with wallpaper as well. This is a Japanese accordion book. But it would be fun to put wallpaper samples in here, or to just put the wallpaper on the cover, on the covers, I should say, front and back covers. That's something that's fun to do for a little booklet. And then just simple stuff like a bookmark. I just backed it with antique book pages, put a stamp on it, sewed around the edges, and there is a bookmark or a flip or a journal card, or fold it in half and have it be a little booklet. And then of course this is just a very simple tag, but it has texture. The white part that you can see is raised, so it's a really great background for a tag. I would normally back this onto cardstock or something because right now it's a little flimsy, but I just cut it out quickly to show you. And then it makes a really beautiful photo mat too. Just cut it out and round your corners, and you could stick this on a page, put something on top of it, use it as a flip, sew around the edges, you know, all the things that we do. We collage, we sew, we glue. Everything that you can do with paper, you can do with wallpaper. So let me just quickly go through these kits. Each one has about 5. Most of them have 5 sheets. And this, let me try to get organized. This first one, I think, yeah, it's just called Aspen. So I kept that name. It says Aspen on the back. This is not antique wallpaper, by the way. Aspen. I bought this because I really liked the vinyl. In between every kit, there was a really nice sheet of vinyl, and so I grabbed this, and I'm going to make something with this. I don't know what yet. Probably pockets, maybe a cool journal, I don't know. But each square is a little different because it's really hard to take apart a wallpaper book, and so it's pretty much impossible to get every piece the same size. But generally speaking, this Aspen kit, the pages are about 16 by 17 and a half, so you get a lot for your money here. I did have to fold them in order to ship them because oversized things cost megabucks to ship. So I wanted to keep the cost down. I'm pretty sure that with wallpaper, I've tried it before. I don't know if it's with all wallpaper. I wouldn't do it with wallpaper that has glue backing, but I have gently ironed wallpaper before when I wanted to get the creases out. But it's folded into a size that's about 9 by 6. I think. Let me see. Let me get my other ruler. No, 9 by 8. Sorry. 9 by 8. So if you wanted just a standard size journal, you could just cut off a few inches and you've got your cover there. So okay, this one's called Aspen, and it's a little shiny, so I hope you're going to be able to see the colors okay. But I think their thinking was it kind of looks like a pine tree a little bit. I don't know which way it would go. But it has really nice texture and a little bit of gloss, as you can see, to it. And there are 5 different colors. So there's a metallic greenish blue, a tan, a darker blue, a whitish, and a gray. And that's called Aspen. The next one is called Glitter Squares. I just gave these silly names. I don't know. I had to give them names, so it was late last night. With a glass of wine, I sat and named all my kits. So this is the pattern, which is really cool. You could get a lot of neat tags out of this. And it's got some silver elements in it. This one is gray. And these are the colors. This is a very dark blue. It kind of looks black in the camera there. And then that is a dark gray. Then these two are really super pretty. It's almost like there are glass beads all along here. Really neat texture, which would add just a touch of bling to an art project. Okay, so that is Glitter Squares. The next is called Art Deco, because I thought this really looked like some Art Deco patterns. See that? Really neat. I love the stripes and the swirls, and just would make such a cool cover, wouldn't it? Okay, and these are the colors for that. This is black, green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one you get 6, so you get a bonus. I'm only charging 5 for 5, and you get 6 in this kit. Really pretty colors. I like this one, green. And that one kind of looks coffee stained, which is fun. The next one is called Glitz, because if you can see the silver in there. This one is not coming through. There we go. That's a little better. This is white and gray, but it's a dingy day today here in Maine, as usual. And I don't have good light today, but this silver is textured, almost like somebody took a brush and dabbled it on. It's really cool. And this one I love too. Well, I love all of these. That's why I have them, but I'm just not going to be able to use all this in my lifetime, so why not share? I really like that. This is a really vintagey looking blue, and then a white one. This one is a little different than this other white one. This one is kind of gold, kind of a goldish, and this one here is kind of a silver. Okay, so that's Glitz. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 in this kit, so I'll throw in a fifth bonus one so that you have 5 in this pack too. The next one, I had a really hard time deciding to sell this one. It's called Watercolor Doodles, and especially this one looks coffee stained. and it has such fun pattern and texture, and I can think of a million things to do with this. Just this, the patterns here are raised slightly, so it has beautiful texture, beautiful patterns, and just it would just, can you picture that as a tag? And then you could even do it this way, and then these could be your journaling lines. Oh, love it. So this one has coffee, what I'm going to call coffee stained, black, kind of a wine colored color, green, and this really pretty blue. And it would just make such an interesting journal cover, and just lines for writing. Oh, okay, this one is watercolor doodles. Because this really looks like somebody took a paintbrush and literally just painted each line. That's why I called it doodles. The next one I was having a hard time putting in the shop too. It's called textured palm leaves. So this is flocked. So it's that really nice soft fuzzy feel. And it is giant palm leaves. How gorgeous is that? Would not want this on my walls, but I'll use it for art all day long. And here's a gold one. Isn't that so pretty? So pretty. This one you could even color in some of the leaves if you wanted. This one, so elegant. It's just so yummy. It's this deep midnight blue with black flocking. So unique. I just, oh, I love this one. And then this one is white and silver, and then this one is kind of a silver with, and you can't really see it, but this is green. It's a real pretty green. So I'm going to cry when I sell this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 in there. So this is called textured palm leaves. The next one is called textured planks, because I thought that this kind of looked like wood that you would see on somebody's walls, and it has a really neat vinyl feel. These would make really nice covers. Here's the first one. It's kind of a greenish in the background here. I'm sorry, I wish hopefully the Etsy listing will show the colors a little better. I'm going to really try to do my best with the photography, but it's a gray and green and brown. And this one's different neutral tones. Well, I guess I don't need to open them up. And this one's really pretty. It's blues and grays, and then kind of a combination of all of these. Blue, gray, green. Okay, these would just, these are really versatile because the pattern isn't big, so you could do a lot with these. Textured planks is this one. I didn't come up with really cool cutesy names. I really tried, but I'm just a very practical person. I'm a bullet thinker. I was never good at essays and things like that. And this one I'm calling Swirls, for obvious reasons. It's got all these swirls all through it. Looks like somebody just took a tool and just did artwork all over it. So pretty. And there's these, let's see, 1, 2, there's only 4 in this kit too, so you'll get a bonus piece. Not sure what it will be. Okay, so there's that color, this color, kind of a more neutral. And then this has some swirls of blue and gray. And the last one I'm calling Hexagons, because each piece has hexagons in it, and there's so much cool contrast on this. It would be, I almost kept this because I wanted to collage in each of these little areas. I thought that would That would just look so cool to me. I almost kept this one. So that's what it looks like. Again, if you find the pattern to be too busy, break it up by having this be your background piece and putting other things on top of it. So there's this one, which is kind of a white and gray with almost a pink tone to it. Some sea blue, I would call that, I guess. Ocean blue. And then some grays and browns. So some nice neutral colors here. So I have those, and then I have more that I have not folded up yet. These are from a different book, so they're a totally different size, and I have to cut the whole pieces off and fold them for you. It has some wood ones in it, which is really nice. Where'd that one go? Looks like wood planks. That's really cool. So this one, a lot of neutral tones in here, except for this top one. There's a really nice texture right there that feels like woven fabric almost. And that one. So these will be folded up and put in the shop eventually too. So let's see. Let me get all these back in order. All right. So it's not often I do a D-stash. I don't do sales either. And the reason I don't do sales is because I don't charge a lot for my items. I make sure that I get my materials cost back, because obviously, I have to make a little bit of profit, but I don't charge a lot more than what it costs me to make an item. So all these people that do 10% off and things like that, I wouldn't make any profit, because I just believe in charging just a little bit more than what it costs me to make it. That's my give back to the community. I don't want to charge. God, I'm not here to make a fortune. I'm just trying to pay bills. That's all. So, all right. So let's see. I think that's all I have. So thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.